Before anyone loses their mind over the title or the thumbnail, relax. This isn't a hit piece, and it's definitely not a defense. It's just the same pattern we see every time this person says something outrageous and the internet acts shocked like it hasn't seen this movie before. Because, yes, he said something ridiculous again, confidently, on stream. People got angry, clips spread everywhere, timelines caught fire, and almost magically, his audience grew. Again, which should probably tell us something, because if outrage worked the way people say it does, this cycle would have ended up, years ago. And no, this isn't about missing context. This isn't, you didn't watch the full clip situation. The take was bad. That part's not complicated. The interesting part is how saying the wrong thing loudly and repeatedly keeps turning into a free promotion. This person isn't accidentally controversial, but he's playing a role the internet rewards. Reaction content thrives on overconfident takes because it gives everyone else a chance to argue, dunk, and feel smarter by comparison. Anger spreads faster than nuance, and clips beat full conversation. And algorithms don't even care whether you agree. They just care about that you interact with the post or the video. So this video isn't here to debate whether this person was right or wrong. That part is very easy. The harder question is why every time this happens, we all show up anyway and still act surprised when it works. Let's walk through what actually happened here, because once you strip away the yelling, the clipped reactions, and the comment section meltdowns, this whole thing becomes pretty simple. This person said something reckless, not clever reckless, not this sparks an interesting conversation reckless, just a take delivered with full confidence, loud enough to trigger a reaction, and the reaction came instantly. People got upset, obviously, clips spreading out, and timelines lit up. Social media did what it always does, and very predictably, his audience grew again. That's not a coincidence, but as you can see that this is a pattern. This wasn't about people misunderstanding him or missing context or something like that. Most people understood exactly what he was saying, they just didn't like it, and that difference matters because it tells us this isn't a communication issue like maybe you think about it before. It is just an incentive issue. Every time something like this happens, the same loop kicks in. A controversial take goes live, someone clips it. That damn, my tongue is getting twisted again. That clip travels faster than the full stream ever could. People react emotionally, anger and disbelief, sometimes all at once. And while everyone's busy arguing, the algorithm quietly does its job, pushing the content further, recommending it to a wider audience, and turning controversy just into another visibility for him. At this point, research literally backed this up. Content framed with strong emotion, especially moral or outrage-coded language, spreads more than calm, neutral takes. Not because it's better, but because it hits harder. Emotion grabs attention, and the attention from that triggers sharing, and the more you sharing with everyone, it's just gonna fit the system, and the system or algorithm doesn't even care why you clicked on that content. So when people ask, why does he keep doing this? The answer is boringly simple actually, because it works. Online outrage isn't a punishment, but it's just, another fuel for a content like him. And what makes this person effective in this environment isn't insight or depth, it's simplicity and confidence. His takes are easy to clip, easy to react, and easy to argue against. And in short form, reaction-driven internet culture that matters more than being accurate. Nuance doesn't clip well, long explanations don't spread, but a bold statement that people strongly disagree with, that's just how this thing travels, with a great speed. And once something travels in this, direction, the system stops, our algorithm stops caring about the intent. A hate watch still counts as a watch, and angry comments still boost the engagement. Like, maybe this is insane quote post still sends more people to the clip. The platform treats all of it the same. That's the uncomfortable part of a lot of people who dislike him are just actively helping him grow. This is where outrage starts to feel performative, not fake. But reacting feels good, calling out a bad take feels reductive, it gives moral clarity, and platforms reward that feeling by amplifying it. Studies have shown that moral emotional reactions get more visibility, more feedback, and more spread. The longer the emotion, the stronger the signal. So instead of burying a bad take, outrage leaves it. Instead of discouraging the behavior, it reinforces it. Over time, creators learn exactly what kind of reactions are worth triggering. That doesn't mean everything this person says is calculated, but it means that he's operating inside a system, his own system, where controversy is, how do I say it, like rarely punished and often rewarded. At some point, intent almost doesn't matter, but the outcome is just the same. This is also why debates about, whether he was right or wrong usually miss the bigger picture. Those debates are just a product. They're what keep this kind of content alive. The algorithm isn't asking for correctness, it's just asking for another another clear, clean, another precious engagement. There's also psychological angle people don't love to admit. Watching someone say something questionable creates a payoff. You just feel smarter by contrast, you feel validated in your disagreement. It is just entertaining in a way agreement usually isn't. And entertainment keeps people watching longer. So even viewers who insist they don't support him are still deeply familiar with his content. They know the tone, they know the arguments, they know exactly what he said and how he said it. That familiarity doesn't come from avoidance, but it's just, another repeated exposure. And repeated exposure is success on the internet. That's why focusing only this kind of content, as an individual miss the point. He's not a glitch in our Matrix universe or something like that. He's just a product of it. A personality shaped by years of feedback loops that reward confidence, simplicity, and controversy over, careful reasoning. If it wasn't for him, it would be someone else, obviously, because the role exists whether he feels it or not. The platform environment encourages creators who are willing to say the thing that keeps the outrage cycle spinning. And that's why cancellation never really works here. Cancellation only works when attention just disappear, just disappear like that. In this system, or algorithm, attention just multiplies. Every backlash becomes another wave of visibility, and every viral argument towards this person just turns into another free promotion, even when it's framed as criticism. So the real question isn't why this person keeps doing this, it's why the internet keeps acting surprised when the same behavior from these guys produce the same result. The algorithm didn't accidentally end up like this, I'm telling you that. It was trained here, through clicks, comments, shares, and engagement metrics that treat all reaction as equally valuable. Until those incentives change, this cycle isn't going to anywhere. That I can be sure about. Different controversy, but yeah, this just the same pattern and the same outcome. Not people, not because people are stupid or something like that, but because the algorithm or the system is doing exactly what it was designed to do. So if this whole thing feels familiar for you, that's because it is. We've watched this cycle play out too many times to pretend it's surprising anymore. A bad take drops and people react instantly, clips go viral, everyone argues, and the person at the center of it just walk away with more attention than before. Not despite the backlash, but because of it. Yeah, it's pretty ironic. And that's the part worth sitting for, because the internet loves to talk about accountability, but it runs on engagement. It rewards speed over thought, confidence over accuracy, and reaction over reflection. The loudest moment almost always win, even when it doesn't even make sense in the first place. So maybe the takeaway here isn't stop criticizing or ignore everything. Maybe it is just being more honest about how this algorithm actually works and how all of us participate in it, knowingly or not. Because at some point, the question stopped being why certain creators keep saying outrageous things or doing stupid things. The real questions become, why we keep rewarding this kind of person than acting confused when it just repeats itself. If you want different outcomes, it probably starts with different actions. Until then, the cycle just keeps spinning, just a different clip and the same reaction and the same result. Okay, I think I've been talking for too long, and yeah, that's all from me today. See you guys in the next video. Don't forget to stay kind, stay critical, and stay curious. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.